How's everyone doing? Dragon Emperor here again, and today we are gonna discuss about a very hot topic in Dragon Ball Super Universe that has been discussed a lot between Dragon Ball Super fans. Uh, uh, it just came out. It was confirmed and watched just in the last episode. We saw it's all about the new form of Goku, or the limit breaker Goku, or the ultra instinct state of the Goku that was recently aired in the last episode of Dragon Ball Super. And we are gonna discuss about what it is and how it is achieved and what we know about it and what are my thoughts about on it. And please, everyone, these are my thoughts. It's all my personal thoughts, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm contradicting anyone's thoughts or anything else. So let's get started. So what we know about this, all we know about it recently in the last episode, what we saw, that Beers called it that state ultra instinct, and it is supposedly used by all of the gods. But what I think is that even Jiren can, right? Jiren is almost as strong as gods of destruction, and maybe even stronger than god of destruction. And even he can use use ultra instincts, because if he can't use ultra instincts, it's a long shot that he'll be stronger than god of destruction, just by training his body and training his he has to know about some of the techniques of the gods, right? To beat a god, you should beat anyone, not just a god. To beat anyone, you need to know what they do, right? You have to be on that level. You have to compete with them, and you have to know what they know, right? To beat someone, you have to do that. And I believe even Jiren can use ultra instinct. Even he has used the ultra instincts in previous episodes. There have been a lot of evidences that Jiren has used ultra instinct before. What is ultra instinct? I believe it says all in the name, right? Ultra instinct. It's all about instincts of the body, the way we move, the way we move without thinking. We sometimes there are events in our life that happens, right? Then when we don't even know why we did something, but we move our body instinctively. We don't even know that we are moving our body, but our body moves instinctively without even us knowing, even without even us knowing about it, right? That's called instinct. And even even when Goku and Vegeta were training with Viz said that this was the techniques of the gods, right? He said that Goku and Vegeta have to just move without thinking, because because our nerve impulses, they take so much time to travel through our nerves, and that much time, that it is very fast. According to us humans, it's very fast, but according to at the level of the fighters in Dragon Ball Super Universe, it's a lot of time, right? 1 second time, it is a lot of time for other fighters to attack, right? So Viz tried to teach Goku and Vegeta the same thing, and they achieved Super Saiyan Blue form, but they haven't perfected it. I believe that Super Saiyan Blue form is the halfway to what we know right now is Ultra Instinct. It's just a halfway there. It's just an amateur level. It's not the professional level of that technique or that power, right? It's Super Saiyan Blue is just the half level of the Ultra Instinct. Now, what we know about Ultra Instinct? First of all, you know, right? We learned in grade school about the law of energy, right? Law of energy, what it is? That energy cannot be created and not be destroyed. It just changes form, right? So when we work, even in normal life, when we work, when we move our body, or when we work, or when we work out, uh, the energy in our body, it is dissipated in the form of heat, in the and that is seen as the aura, as in the form of aura. Some people can see even in the real world, it's said that some people can see aura, and that aura is just it's just the heat that we emit from our body. And from that heat, it's like fingerprint of every person. That heat is because every person emits a unique heat from their body. No two persons can emit the same amount, the same kind of heat, because everyone has different energy in them, everyone has different thoughts, and that's a little deeper level. We don't have to go there, right? Let's just stick to the ultra instincts, right? So energy cannot be dissipated, it is just lost in the form of heat, and that is seen as aura in Dragon Ball Super universe. Even in the last episode, that Jiren said that heat that Goku emitted, it was the weakness of the Ultra Instinct form of Goku, right? Goku had a lot of energy after absorbing that spirit bomb. That will come later. Just first, let's talk about the Ultra Instinct mode. In Ultra Instinct mode, the people Viz taught Goku and Vegeta not to think, because they have to use all of their mental power to control their ki. They have to control their ki with their mental power, right? And they have to fight at the same time. It's like Naruto going into Sage mode during fighting. He will have to absorb all of the nature energy just during fighting, right? It's almost the same concept as the Sage mode. But in Ultra Instinct, it's all about controlling their ki. The ki they have inside them, they will have to control that ki, or they will have to conserve that ki by just by using their mental power, and they will have to move instinctively to fight with their opponents, right? And we have seen glimpse of Ultra Instincts before. Even in previous episodes, we have seen Jiren dodging the blocks that were made by God of Destruction, and he just dodged them without even moving, because his body can move. I believe his body can move without even him thinking. Even in Ultra Instinct mode of Goku dodged all of the Topo's energy balls. Topo's what was that move called? Justice Flash. Yeah, all the Justice Flash of Topo. He dodged it. It was like he doesn't even thought about dodging it. His body was moving on its own, and he was concentrated wholly on Jiren. And Jiren uses it previously, that we know already. So how did Goku lost that power? Goku lost that power because I think just like in the Sage mode, in Ultra Instinct mode, people can absorb energy from outside of their body. Goku absorbed the whole of all of the spirit bomb to achieve that goal, and Jiren, in the same manner, Jiren absorbed the heat emitted by Goku. If Goku had perfected the technique of controlling his ki with his mind, I don't think he would have lost that power so easily. That power was lost just because Goku doesn't know how to control that power fully. He is only used to control his ki to some extent, and to the extent of Super Saiyan Blue, but not at the level of Ultra Instinct. So Goku couldn't control all of his energy, and that spirit bomb had a lot of energy in it, right? That spirit bomb had a lot of energy. All of the universe 7 gave their energy to make that spirit bomb, and it was a lot of energy. Goku absorbed that energy, and he became stronger for a little while. But that energy was so much for Goku. Goku don't have experience with controlling that much energy inside his body. So he emitted that unknowingly. He emitted that energy. All of that energy was emitting out of his body, just in the form of heat. And even Viz noticed that, and Jiren noticed that. And when Jiren stated that that was the limit of his Ultra Instinct stage. And what Jiren did was that, and this is the evidence that in the Ultra Instinct mode, maybe people can absorb the energy and just keep it inside of them. They get stronger by absorbing the energy outside of their body, and just keeping it inside of them, becoming even stronger. When Goku attacked Jiren just blocked his punch, and he absorbed all of the spirit bomb's energy from the Goku's body by the heat that was emitted by Goku. You can see that very evidently in the last episode what we saw. And we have seen the glimpses of even gods using that energy, that Ultra Instinct mode. We have seen Viz use it. We have seen Beerus using it, the Ultra Instinct, during the fight with Goku in Super Saiyan 3 form. And how did Goku achieve that form? Let's just talk about how Goku achieved it. Goku achieved it by desperation. When Goku was falling into the spirit bomb, that black hole of spirit bomb, we all know that he was even at the limits of his limits. Well, this was the dialogue used by Viz in the last episode, that he's even at his limits of his limits. And at that point, I think Goku was thinking that I can't do anything more. I have lost. I can't beat this guy. I think Goku gave up for the first time at that point. And Goku abandoned all of his thoughts. He was ready to accept his fate, and he abandoned all of his thoughts. And at that point, when he abandoned all of his thoughts, he controlled his ki fully, and he absorbed all of the spirit bomb inside of him instinctively, because he wasn't aware of it, but he wasn't thinking about anything, and maybe he just control his energy. He wanted to just give up. He was desperate, right? He was desperate. In desperation, we don't think anything, just about survival, right? When we are desperate, at that point, we don't have anything on our mind. We just know that we have to survive. And Goku did that at that point. Goku felt that, and Goku just absorbed spirit bomb, and he abandoned all of his thoughts, all of his everything. He abandoned everything, all he had on his mind. And knowing Goku, he wasn't desperate for survival. He was desperate to defeat Jiren. All he had on his mind at that point, was that he has to defeat Jiren in any possible way. That was the trigger to controlling all of his ki in his body and not letting it out. And that point, he achieved Ultra Instinct. And I believe that all of the senses are heightened. In that form, all of the senses of a person is heightened when they are using Ultra Instincts, right? We have seen this evidences before when Jiren dodged those blocks, and even in the last episode when Jiren defeated Goku, he didn't let his guard down, because he never lets his guard down. he uses ultra instinct. He's always aware of his surroundings, and he blocked the punch from hit. We even there was someone in the last episode, I think it was Wiz. He said that normally the weakness of a person is that when they defeat someone, they let their guard down. But now it's not the case with Giant, and it's just not Giant. It's with every god of destruction has that kind of ability. They don't let their guard down even after defeating someone, right? So in that mode, in Ultra Instinct mode, all of the senses of a person is heightened, and he's totally aware about all of his surroundings. He's aware about everything. It's like in Sage mode, Goku, Naruto. He's one with the nature, and even I believe in Ultra Instinct mode, everyone has to be in sync with all of their surroundings, and they will have to know what is going on in their surroundings. So that their body can move instinctively when a push comes to shove. When there is always a threat, they will have to just move their body on its own. And we saw that the evidences of this thing in the last episode when Hit came in for the kill, and Jiren just blocks his punch because Jiren wasn't aware about him. Mentally, he wasn't aware about Hit attacking Jiren, but instinctively his body moved and blocked that punch from Hit, and that was the end of the last episode. What I hope is that in future there is still 25 minutes left. It was a short time of desperation that Goku achieved that Ultra Instinct mode. Even if Goku gets aware of how he achieved that state, I don't think he will be able to use it very easily like in last episode, because he will have to train for that thing, and even if he controls his ki fully, it's a long shot, but even if he controls his ki, I believe that he will still not be any match for Jiren, because Jiren is more experienced on this technique than Goku, right? He has used this technique for a lot of time. And that is all for this episode. I think we will see what will become of Goku in the future, in next episode, and next video will be on the review of next episode of Dragon Ball Super. Until then, please click on that like button if you like this video. Please comment your thoughts on Ultra Instincts in the comment box down below, and please click on that subscribe button and make me proud, because it makes me proud when someone clicks on that subscribe button and subscribe. I feel very proud, So I'll be going now because my girlfriend is really angry with me. I messed up. Bye. Hey Sandra, sorry now, please, sorry.